Welcome back to the Coliseum in Portland, where Oregon and the Portland Pilots locked in a good duel here. The Ducks leading by 4. They've led most of the first half. You Oregon Duck fans will want to tune into Prime Sports Northwest this evening at 11 p.m. for Duck Sports Journal. Jerry Allen and Peg Reese for a comprehensive look at all Duck athletics. That's tonight at 11 on Prime Sports Northwest. Well, Bruce, a good start for the Oregon Ducks. They got some confidence offensively. Meanwhile, for the Pilots, a little jittery to start the ball game. Turned it over quite a bit in the first 7 or 8 minutes. They seem to settle themselves down.
They tend to play better in the open court, Portland does. Oregon has been fairly consistent getting the ball inside, which I think they have to continue to do now if they're going to maintain this momentum. So let's see if they can continue to execute and get the ball on their big guys.
Well, the big guys have done a nice job so far. They've combined for 17 points. There have been some games where the Oregon interior people haven't been able to do much of anything. Kenya Wilkins using that quickness to turn the corner on Flicker. And that'll be a foul on Casey Flicker.
His primary concern was to get the ball to Sellers that time, but he saw him almost fall down, so he had to take it in. And that's from playing the playgrounds down in L.A. Taking against those big guys all the time, you know how to protect that basketball and get fouled.
That is also the 7th team foul on the Pilots, so the Ducks will be in the bonus from here on out. That might not be good news. 58% is the team coming in, and they've struggled again from the free throw line tonight. That's 4 misses already. Kenya struggled with his shot. It's something he's got to work on, and he will. 3 points now for Kenya Wilkins. The lead is back to 5. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Oregon goes to the zone. No, check that. Looks like a diamond in one or a box in one, depending on your configuration, with Orlando Williams on Matt Poole. And now the Pilots, I think, finally recognize it with a shot clock at 13. Finnis, really nothing happening here offensively for the Pilots. Shot clock at 5, and Flicker's going to fire it up from NBA range, and he nails it. He's the one guy you got to watch if you're going to play that box in one, because he is a good set and shoot guy. 6 now for Flicker, 2 3-pointers. 2-point ball game. Sellers on the perimeter trying to make something happen. That's a little dangerous. That is not what you want. Is Zach Sellers 18 feet from the hoop, putting the ball on the court. He's better down on the box. 2-point game. Aaron Johnson back in, and he will replace Sellers. And that was just impatience offensively, I think, as well. There was plenty of time on the shot clock.
Exactly what Oregon doesn't want to do is go away from their offensive plan.
Ray Ross trying to penetrate. He does. A beautiful pass to Chapman, blocked by Aaron Johnson and controlled by Johnson. Chapman might have been better advised to go up on the same side of the goal where he got the pass. 35-33, 1:38 to play. Kenya Wilkins, that's going to be well short, and the rebound to Matt Poole, and again, lack of patience offensively by Oregon. Cost them.
Both teams have gone away from their execution now, and consequently it's turned into a little bit more of a sloppy game.
Poole. The bigger Johnson on him. Wilkins got to be careful. He's got 2, and he got a cheap 3rd. All of his fouls have been on the ticky-tack variety, and he just has to know he can't get into trouble.
That's right, because there's no advantage in that situation. Especially when you're reaching up trying to grab the ball like that, you're not gaining an advantage.
So you put the Pilots at the line. Flicker, and he's a great free throw shooter, 83%. Originally, he wanted to come to Portland coming out of high school, McNary High School near Salem. And the Pilots said, well, maybe you ought to go to a junior college for a year and mature a little bit. And he certainly did, under the watchful eye of George Libman, who ironically is a former assistant at both Portland and the University of Oregon.
He's certainly come in and made a great contribution because he's really a top competitor.
So Pilots crawled within 1, 35-34. You see the time remaining. Like to get the ball inside to Potter. Instead, it's a bad pass. Another turnover for Oregon. Finnis quickly down the court. about a 12-second differential, shot clock and the game clock. Finnis hasn't looked to shoot. Now he will down the lane. Loses control, regains possession, up with a shot. Blocked last touch by Oregon, and the shot clock remains at 16 seconds. So Aaron Johnson with a couple of blocked shots tonight.
Well, after a fast start, Jordy Lyden really hasn't gotten in the offense because they're not getting the ball to him.
They haven't let him.
They haven't let him. He started off so quickly.
Ross took a quick shot, and now Oregon with an opportunity for the final shot of the half. There's a pass, and Ross showing his leaping ability. 19 seconds remaining in the half. Foul on Finnis. A couple of substitutions for Oregon as Jamar Curry comes in for defensive purposes, replacing Orlando Williams. And it looks like Daryl Parker would like to come in for Jordy Lyden. So Lyden off to a quick start with 8 points.
1-on-1 box.
Just a solid player. His numbers are down this year. You mentioned his confidence was down as well, but he really is a versatile player for Oregon. Maybe has lost a half a step because of the injury to the foot, ligament damage, forced him to miss half of 1 year and all of another. He nails 2 from the line. That also enables Parker to come in the game. Lyden get it into Flicker to Kanan Chapman. Plenty of time. He doesn't really have to hurry it. He does, though. He misses badly. Last touch by the Pilots. There's still 11 seconds left on the clock. And now the offensive troops come in. So Orlando Williams and Jordy Lyden come in. Oregon leading by 3. Like to tack on another hoop here. See if the Pilots go to a little half-court trap as well. Orlando wants to take it. Toss into Aaron Johnson. The turnaround baseline, no good. Battle for the loose ball.
2 or 3 deflections that caused turnovers in the first half. So not only does he run the offense very effectively, but he makes things happen both ends of the court.
Jordy Lyden back in the starting lineup for tonight's game. He started the first 2, and then Madden moved into the small forward position when Potter came back. Jordy with that start tonight did a very good job in the first half. So Oregon with possession, leading by 3. Lyden trying to penetrate. The kick to Aaron Johnson off the window and curls it home. So they go inside, and it produces another score.
Well, Jordy made that happen because he just used his athletic ability to create something that time. He didn't have the shot, so he took a little one dribble left, under control, and got it inside. Terrific play.
Almost a steal by Lyden. Flicker for his third 3, no good. And there's that strength by Kurt Ranta on the offensive glass.
Oh, he's really strong in there because he's playing against some guys who are pretty physical themselves.
Wilkins to the basket, curls it, misses. Potter, nice hustle follow. 9 for Potter, and Oregon with the first 4 of the second half to lead by 7. Nice to see your big man trailing on a fast break. Being rewarded. Chapman got in trouble, turned it over. Here's a 2-on-2. Wilkins, remember he's got 3 fouls, trying to draw the 4th, and that's a bad call. There was no set position there, and the replay may show it, but that's the 4th on Wilkins. He had to know he was in trouble, and instead created the turnover. Let's see if he's set.
I think he's got position there, Todd. Ooh. It's real difficult, but we have the advantage in the second.
It's true. Whether it was or was not, Wilkins had to know that he couldn't commit the 4th foul. Here's Houle on a pull-up. Gets the pick by Flicker, and there's Wilkins. Could have been his 5th. Off the foot of Kanan Chapman. Boy, a little courage there by Wilkins. Sticking a hand in there, but he's going to have to sit. And Brian Smith will come in to replace him. So a lot of pressure on Brian Smith right now to run that Oregon offense. He can do it defensively. Very strong, quick, physical defender, but offensively, Wilkins has been the main man all year.
Smith seems to me like more of a 2-guard potential. He thinks he wants to score more than Kenny does.
Orlando with a quick 3-pointer, and he is fouled on the elbow.
He says, "Thank you very much, official."
I'll take 3 from the stripe. That's his good old buddy, Keenan Chapman. I've had the feeling that Chapman has tried to bait Orlando into taking some shots, knowing that at 6'8", he might be able to get there.
Well, the other thing he's doing, by design, they're forcing him to go right. And Orlando is being suckered into that little shot. Just enough space, but he's not coming close. Luckily, he was fouled that time.
Orlando Williams has a beautiful shooting touch, 77% from the free throw line, only 39% from the field. In fact, shooting almost as well from the three-point line as he is from the field in general. 36% from the 3, 39 overall.
I think, quite frankly, if Orlando's shot selection was a little different, that he'd be shooting much better percentage, because he tends to take a shot once in a while that's ill-advised. But that'll come. I think he probably thinks he has to take a lot of pressure off the other players because they're not scoring. He's a real good competitor.
Oregon with the first 7 points of the second half to lead by 10. So they've come out of this gate here very quickly. Bristol, that's a tough shot over Potter. Wow, that is not easy.
That was a tough catch, just to catch the ball, then get it up over those guys. Tremendous play.
Bristol, a physical player, former defensive end in high school. He's not afraid to go in there and bang the body. Orlando being guarded by Ray Ross. Orlando the slice to Potter, the pull-up. Now it's Aaron Johnson for 3. Yes, sir, the big man, Aaron Johnson, with the three-pointer.
You give him that kind of time to set and shoot, and he's going to hit a very high percentage of those. He's a terrific shooter for you.
Good point. Well taken. He's now 3 for 5 from the three-point line. And Ranta, that's why he's shooting 75% the last 5 games. Good patience and a good pass by Ray Ross. Ranta now in double figures with 10. Orlando pull up pop over Ross, and now Orlando feeling the stroke.
Say, this is like the old days back in the playground, guys. We're going against each other head to head here.
And that matches the largest lead Oregon has had in the ballgame, 11 points. It's a much different looking Oregon team tonight. And a lot more confidence. Shot clock at 12. And a reach-in foul on Aaron Johnson. Trying to pressure the ball, and he got caught.
45, Aaron Johnson, his second foul, second team foul.
That's a nice timing play there. He is real strong inside, isn't he? And here's something, just creating on his own, up over, just like the old days back on the playground.
And Ray Ross took a long shot, missed, and unable to corral the rebound. Back in for Oregon, Jamar Curry replaces Jordy Lydon. .16:45 remaining in this game. Oregon leading by 11. The Pilots look like they might want to trap out of this right here. And they kind of sucker Smith in. And he traveled. Yep, moved the pivot foot. Oregon has already used 1 timeout, so they only have 2 remaining. Boy, you could see that coming.
That was a real nice trap, too. You can see the fundamentals here. They're not trying to reach for the ball. They're just trying to contain him, keep their hands in the passing lanes, and it worked.
Jamar Curry in the game for Oregon, an excellent defender. From St. Anthony's High School in New Jersey. His coach, Bob Hurley Sr. Of course, our best wishes go out to the Hurley family as Bobby Hurley Jr. tries to recover from that serious automobile accident. Foul inside, Damon Runyon picked that one up, his first. I asked Jamar Curry if he had been able to talk to the Hurleys during the Christmas break, but the Hurleys were in Sacramento. Bobby Hurley finally getting an opportunity to go home. There was a travel by Poole that wasn't called. He lays it up and in, and bodies go flying, no foul. Boy, strong player, good-looking player. Inside, Aaron Johnson, whistle, and it looks like we might have a body foul on Ranta.
Again, timing is everything in that situation. He was.
Take a look at this last basket by Houle. Not only can he hit the 3, but he can also put it on the floor.
Another good example of his strength. He concentrates on that hoop so well. I'm really impressed with him.
Good player. Honorable mention, all West Coast Conference player last year. And a scholar athlete as well.
I started to say, Todd, before, it's all timing in the post situation. That time, Johnson was coming to the ball. He got the ball in the right position at the right time so he could just turn and score himself and get the ball up in the air.
Johnson rattles 2 out of the cage. Byron Smith gets 1 rebound. No call there. And the Ducks get it inside. Damon Runyon, the big fella, turn around and put it in. He now has 4.
Runyon's doing some really good things. He kept that ball alive. And he just got the ball back that situation and turned and scored himself over the people. He's big. He's green, very tough.
Quick jumper, Runyon. That's his 6th rebound. He leads everybody in that category. Oregon by 11, trying to extend to 13. Look inside for Johnson. Nice pass. Johnson the touch. Didn't go. Battle for the board. That's Mr. Runyon. Score it and send him to the line.
Runyon's earned himself some playing time. I'll guarantee you that. The way he's going to the boards and the fundamental things he's doing, just terrific. And what he really is, because he's certainly not a physical player like you say. But well, fundamental. He turns and squares himself. He does that very well. He is a real good shooter from 10 to 12 feet, Todd.
Damon Runyon doing a nice job off the bench for Oregon. He has contributed 7 points and 7 rebounds. Well, we mentioned that Oregon wanted to get the ball inside. So many good things can happen when you do that. Jeff Potter with 9, Runyon with 7, Johnson with 9, and Zach Sellers with 4. So a big run by Oregon when you count the last basket of the first half. It's 17-6 here to start the second half, and now it's a 14-point Oregon lead with 15:25 to play. And there's the defense. Boy, that's what Curry can do. He is quick. You know, Bobby Hurley Jr., the star at Duke and the Sacramento Kings, used to play summer ball against DeMar Curry, and he said when he went home to talk to his dad, he said, "Dad, don't ever match me up with this guy. He hounded me all over the court."
Well, he's so quick and so athletic that he just creates havoc.
He needs to work on his offensive skills, and he will. But boy, defensively, he's like flypaper. Oregon with a half-court trap here. Chapman at 6'8", trying to pass over it. That's the advantage he has. Ross in the corner. Ross looking to penetrate, and he traveled. Ray, bothered by that ankle sprain, just doesn't look like he has 100% ability to go to the basket and spurt.
That's right. Now, in high school and the other times I've seen him play, he has been really phenomenally athletic. And he's not showing that tonight. He's a little half step slow.
Timing not quite there. The turnovers, Portland with 14. Much more pressure by the Pilots here in this half-court set. The Ducks showing a little more patience. The back screen for Orlando. He'll shoot it over Flicker. Rimmed it in and out, and there's DeMar Curry battling on the offensive board, but Chapman controls. Oregon leading by 14, 14:25 to play. After leading 4-0, the Pilots have not led since. They were tied, the two teams, at 30-30 late in the first half. Flicker, and there's a play where they turn it over. Orlando to the rack. Will they score it? Count the continuation play, and Williams taking it strong.
That's that maturity. You know, he knew what he wanted to do with the ball. Just took it so strong to the hoop. And, you know, the unusual thing about that is he took it up with his left hand. They still didn't block it. All they could do is foul him. Puts his head down and says, "Hey, I'm going, guys. Try and stop me."
That's where the strength comes into play. So Orlando Williams at the free throw line trying to complete the conventional three-point play. Leads the Ducks in scoring at 16-6. And he tickles the twine here. Orlando now with 13. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And he'll get a reward. Go to the bench, take a breather. Jordy Lydon comes back in, and the Ducks by 17. So what's that? 22-6 run.
Oregon's doing a great job of throwing them off balance by changing up their defenses.
Almost stolen by Curry. Ross will take to the basket and score it. So Ray Ross finally gets in the book, slashing to the hoop. John Mitchell in the game for Oregon to give Ryan Smith a breather. A lot inside to run. He gets away from the defense. No basket, traveling. Ray Ross finally getting on track for the Pilots. And the Ducks trying to go inside to Damon Runyon, who turned it over. That's about the only thing he has not done right tonight. Harris, who hasn't played much since starting this game, picks up the dribble, whistle, and looks like we might have a foul away from the ball. Might have been on Jamar Curry trying to face guard Keenan Chapman. Second personal on Curry, the 4th team foul on Oregon.
In that situation, just depends on how the officials want to call it, because that's exactly the way they teach it. Play that body inside.
Ross on a floater, so maybe he's getting untracked. And the Pilots really need him to get going because he can take over a game. He has that kind of capability. 13-point lead for Oregon. Moments ago it was 17. There's the overplay by Chapman. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Pilots. Back into the lineup for Oregon, Brian Smith, as he replaces John Mitchell. 13:07 to play in this one. Oregon has led most of the way. Trying to move into the championship game for the 2nd consecutive year. Last year defeated BYU in the opening round game and then lost to Ohio State in a very competitive championship contest. Leiden will try to take it the distance, batted out of bounds by Harris. Back in for Oregon, Zach Sellers. In for the Pilots comes Ronnie Finnis. Out goes Flicker, out goes Runyon. Sellers 4 points, 3 boards in the first half. We have a foul away from the ball. You heard Charlie Range yell 35. It'll be Ronnie Finnis. That's his 3rd. That's the 6th team foul on the Pilots, so that'll put the Ducks in the bonus from here on out with 12:51 to play. Inside to Potter, whistle, and now the Pilots are in the bonus. And the Pilot fans on that end of the court were saying, hey, let them play.
That time, Jordy barely had the ball in his hands when he saw the man open inside and got it to him immediately and created that situation. So it's timing.
Well, now the Ducks have an opportunity to make some hay at the free throw line, Bruce. And again, we mentioned that they've struggled at 58%, but one gets the feeling they're going to get a lot of practice here coming down the stretch. And if they can make those free throws, boy, you really put the Pilots in a world of hurt. And here's where I think confidence comes into play, too. You step up, and if the first couple of guys can knock them in, it becomes contagious.
Well, I think the whole team will realize that tonight because the offensive confidence will carry over to the free throw line, too, Todd.
Potter knocks home 2. He now has 11. Orlando Williams with 13. Jordy Leiden with 10. Good balanced scoring, and a whistle on a reach-in. And the Oregon fans are saying, let them play. And the officials are saying, hey, we're going to call them both ends. The 5th team foul on Oregon, and for Jordy Leiden, that is his 2nd personal. Ooh, there was Finnis. He and Leiden bumped heads. They give it back to Finnis. He takes to the basket. Sellers made him switch the shot. Ducks have a guy all alone down the court, but the Sellers couldn't pick up the pumpkin. Nobody can pick up. Who wants the ball? They're whistling a hand check. Boy, they're really calling a hand checks. And if you're going to call the hand check, the players have to adjust. They've been consistent. They've called him. The foul is on Jamar Curry. That's his 3rd. So now both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the half. There's a good deflection there. Again, nobody can catch the pumpkin. And here's Curry on a breakaway. Houle trying to catch him. And Curry draws the foul. It's a good hard foul by Matt Houle, preventing the 2 points.
I think Jerry Green was lobbying for an intentional foul there, and he wasn't going to get it.
So Curry at the stripe. 1 for 5 this season. One of the few Oregon players that hasn't entered the scoring column, still has not. True freshman that is going to get better as the years go on. And he misses 2. So the lead remains 15. 59-44. Under 12 minutes to play. Whoa, that's a heck of a pass. And again, they're going to call a foul. There have been several plays tonight where guys have crashed into the lane, bodies go flying, and no call. And now all of a sudden, we've got the microscope out. That actually was a break for Oregon. It might have prevented a jam. So Kanan Chapman will be at the free throw line with a 1-on-1. Orlando Williams back in as Curry takes a seat. Pace of the game has slowed a bit here in the last couple of minutes. Chapman now with 7, 3 for 4 from the stripe. Leads the team in steals, minutes played. He's taken more free throws and more shots from the field than anybody on the Pilot roster. Aaron Johnson back in for Oregon. Jeff Potter takes a seat. Pilots probably go about 8, maybe 9 deep at this point of the season. Ricky Brainerd out, had the arthroscopic knee surgery today. We understand nothing torn. The North Eugene star should be back in action for the Pilots in about 2 weeks. Well, Jerry Green's club has got the lead, 59-46.
Get a run for your money this season as the Huskies pick them up and put them down. From one end of the court to the other, the doghouse is gonna be rocking as Washington women's basketball puts the pedal to the metal. Be there at the starting line, because when the Huskies start running, everybody else will be playing catch-up. For the fastest pace in the Pac-10, catch us if you can. Attend the U.S. West Cellular Airtime Tournament December 28th and 29th. Call 5